Hi, welcome to Fearless Fempreneurs. Thank you so much for being here. So, in the evening and trying to, take some time away from your busy life to learn about what it takes to overcome the fear of visibility. So today I have with me Maii. So let me read the introduction that Maii has nicely shared with us. Now, from heartbreaks to empowered in her love and relationship. Mom has out to knows her work, then the destiny process of relationship and uncovers the empowered feminine that helps her regain the sense of worthiness and reconnecting back to her inner power in both love and life. She now helps modern successful women move from feeling confused and unworthy in love to regain their inner power and feeling fully worthy of having it all, the grand love and thriving career. With that, well, let us all welcome Maii. Thank you so much for being here, Maii.
Thank you, Huda, for such warm welcome and speaking the whole message that I was trying to convey. Thank you so much for that.
And I think also at the same time, thanks so much for being here, although we know that it's 9 p.m. Your time right now.
Yes. Such a special live stream, but I feel this topic is really true to me, and I'm so excited to actually deliver a very, I think it's going to be a very impactful information for a lot of women.
Lovely. All right, so let's first start off with, the important question, which is, please share with us what is your journey like and what inspired you to start Empowered News. Go ahead.
Oh yes, thank you so much for asking that question. So about a little bit about me. My name is Maii and I come from Vietnam actually. Now we're living in Sydney. And I have been living in fear for the first phase of my life, and for that 20 something years I was living in other people's voices and never having my own power and always be controlled by the society's standard. And one of that was you have to actually be married to a husband, so you are valuable by only by possession of someone else, and you are valuable. And such belief was infused into me. And by 26-year-old, I was beautiful. I was thriving in my career, but I didn't have any prospective men around me who wanted to commit with me. And I was like, what was wrong with me? And I have to fire up to find the answer. And when I was able to start transforming my life through the work of inner work, I actually realized that there's nothing wrong with me. There was only the wrong thing was I was doing something wrong, and I was doing everything from a place of masculine energy, and that actually exhausted me, tired me, and didn't ever get me to the desire that I wanted. And only by the position of being in my feminine, where I get to create my life and get my life by design, that is when I actually tap onto my inner power and reclaiming it. And that's what I call myself empowerment coach. I help women reclaiming their superpowers by connecting back with their femininity. So when I actually give birth to my baby girl, I realized that you can actually have the ability to give birth to a newborn. You actually can give birth to your new life, and that was something struck me. And only that from that point, I was so fired up to become a coach and help women changing their lives from the inside out. That was about me.
That is so lovely. I think it's so inspiring to hear from you and to hear your perspective on how it's like to become a woman. You're being so so comfortable in the life that you've led previously, and just like what you have shared, there's a lot of masculine energy as compared to what you are today. So it's really amazing. But I am so honored for you to be here to join us and also to inspire all of us today. All right, so let's get started with the actual topic itself. Now, the topic today that we're going to discuss about is the fear of visibility. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of women entrepreneurs who are listening in right now, they have the same challenge that I have felt. I'm pretty sure you have felt as well, that when you want to be able to do something, you want to let people know that you exist, you have this sort of inertia before you can actually get started. So let's hear from you, Maii, and share with us what it means to have this fear of visibility.
Oh, thank you for asking. Fear visibility is like speaking my life story. So I'm gonna share from a very personal perspective, but I believe that what is personal is pretty much universal. So this is nothing from any book, but I speak from my own experiences. So when I um when I first started my business, I thought I was so confident. I thought that I have it all. I thought that I was so capable. I can change people's life right tomorrow. When I hit that first post, I was shaking and I was like, what if my father read this? And what if my cousin read this? And what if my college, ex-college read this? Or why I started to become someone that they didn't know? And I was so afraid that they would have discovered that I actually have something truer within me, and the person that they knew me before was actually someone else. And only by then I realized that I had wear so many masks, layer and layering of masks, and in order to fit into the society, in order to be loved by people, and in order to be approved by other people around me. And for the woman that I was in, and I call myself very little miss perfect because that such an archetype was so resonating with me. When I saw that Little Miss Perfect was that girl in me who trying to be approved and loved and liked and be favored by everyone so she can survive, because through Little Miss Perfect you won't be able to leave if someone, like, if just only one doesn't someone doesn't like you, you won't be able to live through that. So that was that felt really true in me, and only then I was able to actually start healing through my fear of visibility, which I thought I didn't have, but I have so long. At the core of my fear of visibility was the fear of being seen for the true color of me, being seen for the heart that I have, being seen for the desire and the passion and the message that I was born to be carry out on this world. And being seen was something that not taught in any school, or was actually allowed in our society, especially in the Asian country, right? So that's my key message is really about discover your authenticity and be loved for who you are, because only when you unmask, when you showed up as your true self, that is when you attract the right people. And don't ask me why don't you attract the right men, and why they keep abandoning you or rejecting you, and why the bosses doesn't like or do not like you, or the college still gossip about you and don't accept you, because you was wearing someone else's mask. And even though you was doing the right things, saying the right words, being people pleasing, the energy was pretty much wrong. The energy was pretty much fake. And you know what? Energy speaks louder than words. And so people can see that, people can feel that, people can feel that you are inauthentic, especially in a relationship with a man. They can sense it right away, even though they can't name it. And pretty much they don't want to be around someone who is inauthentic, because they know that along the way, when you start living with someone for long enough, you would have to unmask, and they know that they won't be accepted by you, because you were in that relationship trying to be perfect, and they know they are not perfect. So I really want to send this message to women, not just in business but in relationship, to know that once you mask yourself at the beginning phase of everything, like your phase of business or your phase of dating, you actually do yourself a huge disfavor, because they can't see the true you, and when they can't see the true you, they can't love you for who you are.
Well, that's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think it's definitely very challenging. I would say in the beginning, right, for you to be able to discover, is this something that I am quite comfortable being in, and like what you were saying, that you were putting on a lot of masks, a lot of different masks, and it was hard for you to clearly dictate which one is your true identity. So I think
Oh yeah.
it's really important, right, for you to be able to tell who is who is Maii and who is Huda, and I think who you are is the one that is really valuable. So when it comes to visibility, like
Yeah.
I believe Maii, you actually mentioned that there are some benefits to being visible. So a lot of the times, women entrepreneurs even feel that because of the challenges that they face or they encounter in life, as well as their own self doubts and things like that, They think that they are not worthy of being visible. But there is definitely
Mm.
lots of benefits to being visible. Would you like to shed some light on what those benefits
Yeah.
are?
Yes, I would love to, and especially with this conversation is serving the entrepreneur and the coaches community. For me myself, when I was recognizing that I have that little miss perfect, I was like, I really wanted to heal through this so that I get to serve and I get to function like the person that I envision myself to be. And that came down to having the two mindset shifts that really helped me. The first one is actually moving from self-centered to service-based. So I know that we are here. We want to make an impact to people's lives. We want to transform people's lives. We want to help people having a much more fulfilling, happier life. We all want to do that, and that is from our heart. And we want to share that with the world. But if we keep thinking how people are going to view us and how people are going to disapprove of us and how people who doesn't like our message, we actually are not of service to the person who actually needs a message. Today I have a conversation with one of my girlfriends, and we are coaches, and I shared with her my philosophy and my way, and she was totally against it. She was totally in a different direction, and I was honoring that her she was able to speak her truth, and we share the same heart to serve. But I was at the end conclude that, you know what, I know you're such not my ideal client, even though we're not working together. You're not my ideal client because you don't actually go through the things that I go through. You don't learn through the way that I learn. And so that is why you can't get the message that I share, even though we love one another, still you can't get it. So I know that that is like very close girlfriend, like one of the best girlfriend that I had. And she have been follow with me on this path, and I share with her everything that I learned and not everything that she absorbed. So I know that not a lot of people are our people, but we only need the right people to be in our community. And for entrepreneurs, for coaches, I always say you don't need like 1,000 people to love you. You only need 10. Like remember, you only need 10 women or 10 people who really want to work with you, want to buy your stuff, who want to be around you, want to learn from you, and that's good enough. So let's focus and find those 10 people and moving from self-centered, that which is pretty much selfish, into actually doing a service to the community, because I know you are not selfish. I know you want to change people's lives. So that is the first mindset shift that was really helpful for me. The second mindset shift for me was actually removing my little miss perfect, and that was actually a wounded feminine archetype. And you can learn a lot about Little Miss Perfect in a lot of various books, and one of that is from my mentor, which is Audacity to Be Queen by Gina DV. You can learn and go through a lot of archetypes, but for me, Little Miss Perfect was really, really important to heal. And when I go through that and I see that, do I need to be approved by everyone? Do I actually need to be loved by everyone? Is it actually tiring instead of exciting to be loved by everyone? Because I say it, if you want to be everyone's favorite pick, then you actually can only be vanilla. Vanilla is so boring, right? It is not exciting. It's not interesting. It doesn't have color or any characteristic in them. And you want to be that plain woman. And I know if you are starting this business, you want to be someone who have your own voices. And on this process of becoming your own boss, you actually have to find your own voice. And that first start with seeing you have a little bit perfect, the need to please people, the need to be approved by people, the need to be loved by everyone, and you have to heal through them. And there are so many books out there that help you with that. So I think that was the true thing that really helped me to see that fear visibility actually bring more benefits, that I get to serve the right people. I don't need to serve every people. And also apply to dating, because I am also helping women with relationships. You only need one husband. You don't need 10 men who love you, right? So you just have to find the right people, and the key word is the right people. It's not the perfect people.
Cannot agree more with you. I think that is so true. Just like you, I also believe, and I have this strong belief that if you are serving one person, you are making a huge impact in that person's life. It doesn't
Yes,
really
I
matter.
know.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page right over here when we are talking about that. It's lovely to hear this. So, when you were sharing all of this, it really made me reflect into my own life as well. Like, is this something that I was concerned about? Just like you probably, when we first start our business, we're always self-doubting. Every single step that we take, every single move that we make, we're always thinking like, is this the right thing to do? Is this what we need to do
Yes.
next, right? Yeah. So, like, have you encountered
So
something like that
many
before?
doubts.
Have you
Yes,
encountered
yes.
something like that before, Mai?
I'm sorry. Oh, I was agreeing with everything you said about like it's the right thing to do, it's the right next move to do. And you know what? One of the things I realized that the need to be right was something that really held me back to be visible. And what I share with a lot of my clients are you don't need to be right because every detour is actually the right direction. That universe leading you back to your path. So don't be afraid to be right or wrong. There's no such thing that is right or wrong. Universe always have your back and universe always gonna redirecting you back to your path. So never be afraid of taking that action. You need to keep moving forward. That's all.
I think, right, I want to give you like a virtual hug, like right over there.
I received that fully.
Because I think that that's the
Yes.
most meaningful thing ever. That you can go through so many different paths, but it all leads you to that one journey that is going to take you to your final destination that you are meant to do. So I think
Yeah.
that is an amazing thought and an amazing philosophy that can help you and guide you throughout your whole journey of entrepreneurship or even of life. Yeah. So
I know.
it's amazing, right? Yes. I've got one question for you. What is one of the most common challenges or common questions that you get surrounding this fear of visibility?
It's actually this question of what if they see my true color? What comes after that? And you know what? Sometimes when the fear is in the dark, it actually feel more scary. And when things are in the dark, they actually consume you. They actually have the power over you. So you have to actually pull them out to the light and see what is it inside of you. And when you actually sit down and take a deep breath and really see what is this fear looks like, sometimes it comes to the form of a little girl. Most often for me, it's the form of a little girl. What if they don't love me? It's actually a very much a child afraid when they are in 4 or 5 years old because as a child, your whole world dependent on someone else's love. Your whole world was actually dependent on your parents' love, on your guardian's love. And with that love, you can't survive. And as a mother, I really feel through this one. And I try my best to actually treat my baby fair. But as human beings, our parents have done the best at their own level of consciousness, and still it leaves us some story and some meaning that we are not worthy because we was crying and because we was trying to express our needs and all of that. So when we was trying to cry, like for example, when my baby was crying, my mom right away go into the mode of don't cry, don't you ever dare to cry, instead of what's wrong, honey, and what do you want to try to tell me? And that was really reminding me how my mom was actually raising me, and I knew instantly that if she wasn't allowing me to cry and showing my true emotion, how can I show my true self to her? How can I share my true thoughts to her? Because she's gonna disapprove right away, right? Like how she disapproved of me crying, which is a basic human need. So I was, it was really striking, and when you see that it's actually your feelings come from a little girl, you actually know that the need comes from your childhood wounds, and you always can heal through that. There's so many tools and ways to heal through that, and what I love, which I'm actually going through right now with a lot of my programs and community, is mirror work. Mirror work is about to the mirror and telling yourself what you need to hear from your parents or from other people that you haven't been able to hear on a constant basis. So I really strongly recommend you to actually anyone who comes with the question that what if they really really see my true color. If you can't see yourself in the mirror, no one can see you. And see yourself is actually seeing you and seeing the beauty in you, seeing the light in you, seeing how precious you are. Not like seeing your flaw and your gray hair and your wrinkle. Is not like don't find the fault in your presence anymore. Really see yourself in the mirror, acknowledge her beauty, regardless of the age, regardless of the shape and form, and really speak love to her. She needs that, she craves that. And when you actually fulfill that, it gets easier to show that in the world, being who you are.
All right. Well, that really sends shivers down my spine. Like like make me think like this is something that every one of us need to do. We need to look back and see what are the natural causes that has made us doubt ourselves, or for what you have shared also, like what has built you to have some masculine energy and masculine characteristics that hinders you from becoming the woman that you need to be, the woman that can be loved, and the woman that can prosper and grow in the long run. So this is really
Yeah.
lovely, and I believe you also have a gift for all of our viewers, right? This vision of worthiness. Could you share
Yes.
with us what that is?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Thank you for letting me do that. I like a medic my own person, and that includes code, and we like we can easily millionaire to have a wedding. We can see that's so easy. Why don't we leave that? Because we actually blocking that to happen for us. And part of that was actually we achieved everything by a masculine way, and for me is you have to go back to your feminine way. You have to rely upon universe connection and support. Yeah, take necessary action, like you still have to go on dating, or you still have to show up consistently on your Instagram or your Facebook if you want clients to come to you. But you actually need to get better at surrendering, because surrendering and receiving is such a feminine trait. So in that vision worthiness meditation, I allow and walk through the woman to see the vision and all their heart in the journey, and start to surrender and receive more from the universe. And that would open wonderful things for you. Like I've had a lot of my clients come to me at 10 days or 20 days of that, and start seeing, instead of like focusing on the external, they now start focusing on the internal and really feel. So it's not like a one-time off practice. It's really cool to do it over and over again. It's only about 10 minutes, and it's in the link Maii coaching slash gifts. So Maii is MAIIVU coaching.com/gifts. So it is such a wonderful gift to give to your community.
This as well. Also, at the same time, we're going to drop the link of my gift to all of my this replay version of this, so that you can gain direct access to the content. So, is there any words of wisdom that Maii would like to share with the woman listening in, looking to get inspired?
Thank you for allowing me to say this. And when I actually break through my earning, started to realize that the world actually needs to speak my true voice. And my true voice is actually about not men focused, but me focused. Who do you have to be in order to have the life that you desire, to have the dream that you want? And to stand on both having it all by having a relationship and a wonderful career. Who do you have to be, instead of like, what do I need to do, or like, what else, or like, what man is actually good for me? So I'm pretty much very much me focused. And when I start to show up, I start seeing a lot of women follow through with that and becoming a coach, or going into their purposeful direction. And I was like, wow, actually the world needs me to speak the right truth, the truth that was so true for me. And no longer I was allowing myself to lose that voice anymore. So I really want to send this message that, number one, the world needs to hear your message, lady. Anyone who are listening to me, even though you're not a coach, even though you're not looking into the path yet, but everyone, the world needs your message. The world needs to hear you. Maybe your best girlfriend needs to hear this from you. maybe your cousin needs to know on the knowledge that you know. If you're here, I know you're very much in self-development work, so you need to share more of that. You need to speak more of that. And the second thing is that own your voice. We have let other people speak for us for a long time. And when I actually have access to my voice again, I don't want to lose it anymore and I want to stand up firmly on it. So I know it is a practice, it's a journey. But when you actually know that you don't need to speak as a actually can speak your truth, just find whatever, choose your heart and start speaking about it right now. It will lead you to the purposeful path that you always dream of. That is the true message I really want to send to the audience here today.
I think that is definitely empowering, and it is something that a lot of the people who are listening in right now, I guess, man, woman, doesn't matter. You need to own your voice. You need to have that purpose. You need to be proud of yourself. Embrace the true identity and the true you. So I summarizes this, right? From fear of visibility, we moved on somewhat to talk about self-development, empowering our own self. I think that's amazing. Okay, so
yeah, I believe that at the core, it's really like self giving your power to be. I think that is really summing up that.
And also for those of you who are tuning in, our Femcast challenge for you. So sometimes getting out of that rut, trying can be quite challenging. So set good goals and set intentionable goals, and you will be able to see the future ahead. So we've got this 5-day goal setting challenge. We'll drop the link right below it so you guys can access it and you can see this and life can look like. With that, thank you so much, Maii, for being here. I had a great time.
Thank you, Hura.
I had a great time, definitely, and I find that whatever you have shared is definitely valuable and it resonates really well with me, and I believe with a lot of people who are listening in right now as well. So thank you so much, Maii. I really appreciate your time. And I'm so sorry for all the technical difficulties that we faced earlier on in this episode.
No worries. It's such a normal thing. And also, I would love to hear from the audiences what they think about this message, what resonates with you. I always love to hear how you receive my message and what really sparked your heart. So if you have any takeaway, not just tag me at impact.muse or Muse Tribe. That is where my community is. So yeah, I would love to actually engage with everyone who actually tune in and listen and find this is so true and ring any like all sort of bell for them. Good to have you. Thank you so much, Hura, for inviting me.
Yes, and for those of you who are listening in, if you want to drop your questions down at this this replay version, feel free to do so. I'm pretty sure I'm happy to.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, thank you so much. Remember to keep learning, and the world needs an inspiration.